America's sweetheart or America's most sinister queen bee, Rachel McAdams is proof that only the best actors can do both. Maybe you know her as the memorable magnetic brat in comedies like The Hot Chick or Mean Girls, or as the dimpled romantic lead of rom-coms like The Notebook, About Time, and The Vow. But regardless, you are bound to recognize Rachel McAdams. Known for romantic dramas, McAdams has cemented her position in the American mind as the ideal feminine romantic counterpart, or the ultimate queen bee, and has actually created the perfect avenue for memorable characters within a diverse filmography. But before then, she was born in Ontario, Canada in 1978. McAdams isn't one of those stars that grew up busking on the streets of LA or being groomed for greatness for the entertainment industry by industry employee parents. She attended a regular school, taking an interest in various activities like figure skating, volleyball, and student council.
I was a jock before I was an actress.
Alongside these, she developed a mild interest for performing, participating in theatrical productions and acting summer camps.
I forgot your name, sorry.
Rachel
McAdams.
Unlike other stars whose parents might groom them for greatness, McAdams would proceed along a pretty typical path within the context of academia. However, after her high school drama teacher encouraged her on the viability of a professional acting career and, I'm going to be honest, I'd love to hear what that pitch was, she decided to major in York University's theater program in Ontario. This makes her a notable starlet who took a strangely traditional route towards professional success. As many great film stars do, the start of McAdams' career would debut in small TV series and movie roles like The Famous Jet Jackson, Shotgun Love Dolls, and Guilty by Association. This would be an easy beginning before the sensational years to come.
I looked up people that were working and interrupted them from their movies, and some of them were really great. But when Miss McAdams came in and read, it was apparent that she was the one.
After a few other small film roles, in 2002 McAdams would get cast in The Hot Chick as, you guessed it, The Hot Chick. When a spoiled teen socialite, a loose outline of her future Mean Girls persona, one day switches bodies with a bummy guy played by Rob Schneider, some pure Freaky Friday antics ensue.
It's me! Jessica! I'm in here!
Which is interesting considering that film would release in 2003, just 1 year after this one. This would mark a milestone for her career and reeks of potential which would finally be tapped into just 1 year later. The next year, 2004, was an incredible one for McAdams, as both Mean Girls and The Notebook would be released within a 2-month period, both featuring her in starring roles of absolutely different characterizations, genres, and time periods. In Mean Girls, alongside other young stars like Lindsay Lohan and Amanda Seyfried, she's the queen bee to end all queen bees, Regina George. In The Notebook, she's Allie Hamilton, the wealthy southern heiress to balance, or irritate, Ryan Gosling's lower-class heartthrob Noah Calhoun. In what might be one of the most underrated breakout years for a contemporary actress, both films are remembered as classics of their respective genres.
That is so fetch. Gretchen, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
It goes without saying that The Notebook is one of the quintessential romantic films, and that the tragic but hopeless romantic story of Allie and Noah is only half as radiant because of McAdams' committed light, airy, and genuine portrayal of a deeply privileged character. This charm would go on to be utilized the next year in the romantic comedy Wedding Crashers, with Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson, blending her capacity for amorous charm and astute comedic timing. This same year, she would continue to broaden her range with Red Eye, alongside Cillian Murphy, a mile-high thriller directed by Wes Craven. Then she'd appear in a more sardonic role in the star-studded, relatable family fun movie, The Family Stone, with a broad ensemble of well-known stars like Sarah Jessica Parker, Diane Keaton, and Craig T. Nelson. Needless to say, for the first couple of years, McAdams worked with a spread of actors that some could only dream about. After a short hiatus away from acting following this breakout period, she would appear in a handful of notable films like the political thriller State of Play, the period drama Married Life, and the road trip comedy The Lucky Ones. One of the more notable films, however, would be the 2009 adaptation of Sherlock Holmes starring Robert Downey Jr., in which she portrays the classic character of Irene Adler. Despite this film receiving reasonable reviews, her character was criticized for being deduced to a simplified version of herself in comparison to the male leads, more so through the writing than through her performance. In 2011, she would appear in the Woody Allen-directed rewind fantasy film Midnight in Paris. McAdams played the fiancée of Owen Wilson. McAdams is ultimately deduced to be a harpy sort of antagonist for Wilson's character.
In her beauty, she was just a knockout.
What have you been smoking?
As he embarks on a whimsical journey into the 1920s of Paris each night, and this role underrated her abilities, but it's still nice to see her in a critically acclaimed film.
And the Oscar goes to Woody Allen, Midnight in Paris.
In 2012, McAdams would return to her rom-com form with The Vow, partnered with Channing Tatum, based on the true story of a woman who loses her memory in a car crash, and her fiancé who has to try to navigate their love story all over again.
You know who I am, right?
Yeah? You're my doctor.
The film was her biggest leading role hit to date, and most critics lauded her warmth and grace among an otherwise prototypical plot. In 2015, McAdams would appear in an ensemble cast alongside actors like Mark Ruffalo and Michael Keaton in the eventual Best Picture winner Spotlight, a dramatic imagining of the journalists who investigated child sexual abuse by Catholic priests in the Boston area. Surprisingly, this would also mark her first Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actress in that case. Though she wouldn't receive the award, this project undoubtedly put her on the map as an actress worthy of Oscar bait roles in films, so that one day she might be so lucky. The most recent live-action film that McAdams would appear in was Eurovision Song Contest, the story of the Fire Saga, in a comedic duo with Will Ferrell, something we never knew we needed. While critics were unsure, committed fans of Eurovision were pleased with this goofy Icelandic musical comedy. In hindsight, it seems as if Rachel McAdams was always meant to be a star. Her best films and appearances string together like an unbroken row of lights, spanning many genres in the years since she began. With an open mind and a natural talent, McAdams is bound to be considered one of the it girls of our time, and one of the most recognized actors of the 2000s. Whether you like rom-coms, family dramas, casual comedies, gritty dramas, thrillers, mysteries, and Marvel films, there's sure to be something featuring McAdams that any movie watcher can appreciate. Fans of McAdams can look forward to her appearance in both the next MCU film, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, as well as the first film adaptation of the Judy Blume novel, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.